Welcome back to an episode of Let's Settle Down, episode 4. Let's go. I'm so excited. I love this. I really do. I hope you guys are loving it too. Um, what a week. But before I go into that, okay, I want to start off by saying last week's episode was a little heavy, aggressive, and long. And this week I just want to chill. I just want to sit here and chill and hang out. Last week I really dug into people and I don't want to be doing all that this time. This week we're just gonna chill because I think we all need that right now. Just relax, okay? But some of you guys needed that, and I hope some of that helped you. But this week it's not going to be that aggressive, and I apologize if whatever, that was last episode. You can go watch it if you would like to. Um, dude, what a week. Okay, I don't even know where to start, honestly. Um, I will say, to sum it up, I literally went to the ER and saw Kid Cudi in the same week. And I never thought I would say that. So I have been speaking about this on my TikTok, and I mentioned it in my first episode that I got gallbladder removal surgery last November. And ever since then, obviously, I have not felt the same. I have been, it's a lot of trial and error. And I mean, I guess you can look it up if you want, but basically your gallbladder is just like the filter for whatever. It just really impacts your digestive system. So that is essentially the whole reason I went to the ER, was because of that. Just some post-surgery complications. And I was going to go to my primary care doctor, okay? And if you don't have a primary care doctor, I highly recommend that you get one because your health is very important. Don't just skip the. Okay, hello, what's going on here? Hello? Oh my gosh, whatever. We're here for a good time. She was booked out. Okay, I have a little bit of beef. Okay, she was booked out for like almost 2 months. So that is why I ended up in the ER. I really don't think that should be a thing. I don't think that if I have a primary care doctor, I don't think it should take almost 2 months for me to be able to see her. I don't know what that was all about, but I ended up going to the ER because they'll take you in. You just might be there for literally forever. And your copay might be a little higher, depending on your insurance, but I don't want to get into that. But yeah, so that was my experience. I will say first off, the emergency room is very depressing. I feel like the emergency room is just filled with despair. I went on a Tuesday morning, and I just couldn't believe my eyes. Thank God I don't go to the hospital very often, but when I did, I almost cried like 3 times just observing my surroundings. You're getting so many different types of people in one room. I personally have so much respect for nurses and doctors and my mom. My mom works in the ER. And so I just have respect for every single one of them because I was definitely, obviously, observing everything around me. The nurses looked tired. The doctors looked exhausted. And it just made me respect. I already had respect for them in the first place because it's like you are literally dedicating your entire life to helping people, whether they appreciate it or not. You're dedicating your whole life to helping people. And I've always respected that. But just looking around me and seeing how exhausted everybody looked almost brought tears to my eyes, honestly. And I think once you get into that profession, I mean, you see it every single day, especially if you work in the ER, because that's where you get, like, you're at the front line, baby. You're at the front line of it all. And I think that once you work in the ER for so long, like my mom's worked there for decades, okay, you just become numb and desensitized. You're just numb to it. And yeah, I just overall wanted to say that I respect all of the people working in the hospital because that must be tough. The things that you see day in and day out, crazy. Anyways, my experience was, I don't know. It was good. I mean, spent your typical 4 hours in the ER, got a CT scan, which was terrifying, by the way. No one ever talks Well, I hope that no one gets regular CT scans because obviously that means something's wrong, but no one's ever told me that a CT scan was that terrifying. I'm like in this thing and they tell me that, I mean, I'm already oh, you can see it right there. I'm already injected with an IV, okay? They like unhook me from the IV. They wheel me on over to the CT scan area. I'm sitting in the scanner thing and I'm shaking. I'm literally like, and the nurse is like, "Oh my gosh, are we freezing you to death in here?" I said, "No, ma'am, it's my nerves. I'm just really nervous." She was like, "Oh, don't be. It's nothing. It's nothing." I'm like, "Well, you see this every day. This is your job. I've never seen this before. I don't know what I'm doing. Whatever." So, whatever. My IV's out. Okay, I still have a hanging out of my arm. She hooks me up to the dye because I got to pump dye into you. Am I allowed to even be talking? I don't even know, but whatever. I'm getting a CT scan. Um, they leave the room, and I'm like, "Oh my god, wait." They have to leave the room. All of a sudden, I'm like sitting here, my arms are above my head, and she's like, "There's a speaker." She didn't tell me that she was going to be talking through a speaker, and all of a sudden they say, "Okay, hold your breath," and I'm like, mind you, I'm already shaking in my boots. I'm tensing up, and like, I'm like, "Okay," and then he's like, "Okay, release," and I'm like, "Oh my god, where's this speaker coming from?" Like they are talking to me through a speaker and yelling, and it was just overall terrifying. I mean, it went quick, but it was terrifying. And yeah, so please avoid a CT scan at all costs. I'm fine, by the way. I'm fine, by the way. Yeah, blood work, following up with the GI doctor, hot girl with stomach problems. For someone who's not very brave about stomach issues, I'm being forced to be brave about it. And let me tell you, after that trip, extremely brave. Just saying. Um, I'm pretty forced to be brave. I never wanted this for myself, guys. I didn't. And I hope you guys all listen. The reason I got my gallbladder removed was because I ate like crap. Okay? Other reasons that you could have gallstones. And gallstones is what I had, which is why I had to get my removed. Um if you're overweight, you eat bad. There's a ton of other things, okay? I was just your average healthy adult, I'm active, whatever. And I got gallstones because of my diet because I ate like crap. So please avoid gallstones at all costs. It's more common in women. Um, whatever. Avoid it because you like it's haunting me. It's literally haunting me. And I hate stomach issues. I would rather have like a really, really bad cold. I would rather have, I don't even know. I just don't want stomach issues. And here we are. So just make sure you eat well. Okay. But basically, I had to do like a whole factory reset on how I ate. I don't know if that's what pissed it off, but I would get these flare ups that would wake me up at 3 a.m., whatever. I like am stuck in the fetal position. I don't know what's going on. My digestive system is completely messed up, even though I've been eating the same diet since my surgery last year. So, just completely did like a factory reset. I basically fasted for like 12 hours. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to reset. And I have been extra, extra smart about what I put in my body, AKA, I have not even been eating enough because I'm too scared to eat because I don't know what's going on. Blah, blah, blah. Like, enough about it. Enough about it. I just wanted to update you guys. That's why I went to the ER and it was terrifying and it was so depressing. And overall, I just felt very eerie and I do not want to go back there again. But I'm very thankful for my nurses, my doctors. They were very sweet, very kind. And yes, they did an amazing job. And then I mentioned that I went to go see Kid Cudi. Okay. Someone came up to me at work and was like, Kid Cudi's coming to Charlotte, right? Because like I'm on aux at work. And I was playing Kid Cudi. He was like, he's coming to Charlotte soon, right? And I said, okay, right? Like I set a reminder for myself. Um, so obviously I went to go to Kid Cudi. It was so fun, such a fun experience. Here's a picture. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. If you know the PNC in Charlotte, that's where he played. Well, it's called True Lion Amphitheater now. That's the venue he was at. And he was amazing. It was just a solo, just him out there, just literally having so much fun. And he was playing some really old bangers that seriously, like day one, Kid Cudi. I mean, there was a summer where I was at the skate park every single day, and that's all I listened to was Kid Cudi. And also, 2014, the prime of my life, Kid Cudi was, I just love him. I love him. He dedicated his whole show that night for his little niece. He's just like the cool uncle. I don't know. He's such a vibe, but he sounds exactly like he sounds in his music. And I really love that from artists. He's a really good performer. He was like super into his own music. You can tell that he really likes what he makes. And um, yeah, it was really fun. I think just him playing those really, really old bangers, and he's like, "Oh, if you're a day one fan, sing along." And I was losing my mind. Really healed like inner child. And he also played a song I've never heard before, and I was like so obsessed with this song. I was like, this beat goes so hard. Hold on, let me put you on Superboy. Superboy by Kid Cudi. I listened to it. I was like, I've never heard this song before, and I'm like vibing, and I'm like, now it's like one of my all-time favorite Kid Cudi songs. And I didn't even find it through Spotify or anything else. He sung it to me. So I don't know. It was a really fun experience. That was the first concert I've been to in a while, as far as like seeing an artist goes. But yeah, it was really fun. And he's an amazing performer. And he's on tour right now. So if you just try to catch one of his shows, honestly, it was very affordable. I'm not going to say he fell off, but like, I'm loyal. Kid Cudi, always love Kid Cudi. He's a vibe. And that's that. There's also another thing I want to talk about, okay? And I don't want you guys to yell at me, okay? I have a lot of people in my life personally that watch everything that I do. That sounds so bad. That they keep up with my life, okay? They keep up with my social media and they're like, you read a lot. I don't know, just talking about my books. And I do put a lot of my book stuff, related stuff on my TikTok, and I have not updated that in a while. And you want to know why? I'm in a slump. I'm in a reading slump. Okay. I did not read it all this week, mostly because I have been so nauseous this week due to tummy issues. Okay. Um, I have not read. Okay. I haven't been grabbing for my book. One, because I was nauseous, and two, because I just think that this is the right book, wrong time. Right book, wrong time. And yes, 2 episodes back, I did mention Winter Garden by Kristen Hanna, historical fiction. I'm currently reading that. I think it is right book, wrong time because it's Kristen Hanna we're talking about here. She's an amazing author. Why am I not I'm not gravitating towards this story. And I'm in a reading slump. I have a huge goal to reach. And I don't know. I'm just sucking at reading right now. And I really hate that for myself. And I'm like, maybe if I switch up what I'm reading, maybe I can get back into the flow. But Kristen Hanna herself, this book itself is not putting me in a reading slump. It's my own situation. Okay. And that's just that. So I would love to do like a what I'm currently reading or what I read this week. What did I read this week, Sarah? You didn't read anything. You literally didn't even read anything. So good job, girl. Pat on the back. Now I need to step it up. I need to step it up. But the thing about reading is that it is a hobby. It is something that I do when I want to relax. And I don't want to force, even though I have a goal to reach, I don't want to force that on myself. If I force myself to read, especially something that I'm not in the mood for, what's the fun in that? That takes all the fun. That sucks the fun right out of it. So, this is also a reminder if you haven't picked your book up in a few weeks, don't worry. Don't worry, it's fine. You'll pick it back up. It's a hobby, it's a relaxing hobby. At least you are intentional. So, just don't beat yourself up about it because I'm not trying to beat myself up about it. Moving on. Switching positions so much. I just can't get comfy. Anyways, moving on. I have a pretty busy summer coming up, okay? Not in the sense of I have vacation after vacation. I have a yacht in Miami I'm going to, and I'm going to Puerto Rico after that, blah, 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 all these vacations. No. I have a busy summer coming up as in I am making money. and I am putting myself through school. Okay. I have a lot of work to do. Okay. And I'm focused on my future. We're working on the prime. And I get into a lot about that in my last episode. Okay. My goals and stuff. But I moved up in my job. So that's demanding. Okay. I got to be there. And also, I'm trying to get an education. I'm trying to get that degree. I'm trying to get multiple degrees, baby, PhD, PhD type. Um, so yeah, I'm planning on graduating the current college that I'm going to right now. I'm planning on graduating this year. Therefore, I shoved a bunch of classes in this year. I didn't think about how that was going to affect me, but we're working hard. I'm a very work hard, play hard kind of person. So this year, even I knew this year, 2026, when I was doing my goals of the year, it was get this degree, girl. Finish this college, move to the next college, and yeah. I'm currently living through it. I'm gonna have a busy summer. I'm not gonna have many vacations, if you will. But guess what? One day I will be traveling the world, and it's going to be amazing and awesome. And you just have to put the work in first. Oh, I want to travel. I want to travel. Well, girl, put the work in. What are you doing? You can't just do that sitting around, okay? You gotta put that work in. But anyways, yeah, so lots of work, lots of college this summer, all while trying to make time for my hobbies to keep me sane. So we're just trying to juggle a bunch of things at once this summer and stay on top of this podcast. And I'm reiterating, yes, I didn't want to call it a podcast at first, but what else am I supposed to call it? Whatever. YouTube channel. Okay, we're trying to maintain this YouTube channel, but honestly, I love this right here. Okay, this isn't really going to be hard for me to keep up with. As long as I literally have about 3 hours in my day, then yes, I can do it. Anyways, I'm structuring my life nonetheless, okay? And I talk all about that in my last episode too, how to structure your life. I beat that into you last episode, so we're not going to go into it again, but I'm structuring my life in such a way where I can do things that make me happy. I can achieve my goals. I can experience the world and whatever. Work hard, play hard. And that's what I'm doing. So, in this episode, I also want, I guess, the big chunk of it to be me nerding out about journaling. I want to low key kind of try and convince you to journal. Yeah. So, first, I want to show you my credentials. So, let me grab it really quick. Okay, so my credentials are right here as you see. All of my finished journals are all in this box. Okay, and we are still filling them up, baby. I just finished one yesterday. So, journaling is everything to me. Okay, these are my credentials, therefore, I am allowed to speak on journaling and what it can do for you and how I feel about it. So, first, I want to tell you what this means to me. So, it's getting real. It's getting real. Okay, so there are many creators out there who describe journaling so beautifully and way more beautiful than what I'm about to say. But my feelings on journaling so strong, so passionate about this hobby of mine, and I just want to say a few things about it before I jump right into my haul. I don't know. The inspiration to hopefully give you some inspiration, I guess is what I'm trying to say. There are creators out there that say everything that I love, like say everything that I feel about journaling, and they say it so beautifully, and I'm just like, that is not me. But I wrote a few things down that how I feel about journaling. But anyways, so it helps you with presence and stillness, which I definitely need that with everything, with my busy schedule, everything that I'm working so hard for, all the goals I set for myself and stuff. I think presence and stillness is extremely important. It also helps you create a sense of your own individuality. Let me tell you, it is so important to find yourself. You're never going to truly know who you are But let me just say that if you journal, you're creating a sense of individuality. You are going to get to know yourself more. So that is extremely important. Journaling is a way for you to further observe the world around you and how it affects you. When you're writing about anything, about what is making you happy, what is pissing you off, okay? Um, what you experienced and how you feel about it. It is a way to further observe the world around you, which I think is so important because if you're just, going through the motions, are you truly living your life? It is a way for you to be intentional with how you live and see your day-to-day life. Throughout living, you're adding that extra layer of, okay, I'm noticing this, I'm being intentional about this is what I'm struggling with. You're being intentional and you're adding another layer to your life. And I think that is extremely important as well. Self-reflection, absolutely. Self-reflection is huge. Self-reflection is rewarding, and you get a ton of that. Okay, you get a ton of that while you're journaling. And there's this amazing quote, that I found about journaling. It is beautiful and such a really good way to overall generalize journaling itself in that practice. We write to taste life twice, in the moment and in retrospect. This is from a writer in Paris who held a diary her entire life, and she's also an author. Yeah, I'm tasting life twice because once you have that amazing experience, then I get to write about it again and I get to live it over again. And then in 20 years, I get to live it over again. Because there's so many forgettable moments that you go through in your life and you're like, I wish I could stay in this moment forever, right? But you can if you put it in tangible form. And you get to relive it as you do. Whatever. It's amazing. And you're also preserving memories in journaling also provides deeper insight, which I went into that extra layer. You're adding deeper insight to your life, whatever. Journaling is just so cool anyways. Collecting little scraps of receipts or just little stickers, scraps of things in your life that you're collecting, I don't know, and it helps you do the art of noticing. The art of noticing, okay? You notice the little things. I just feel like it makes life so much more fulfilling and so much, like I said, that extra layer. I can't get over it. But I'm going to give you a haul of my archived journals. I'm going to show you the stickers, maybe some cool spreads, and hopefully that will inspire you to start a journal of your own. And I know that not everybody has this analog type of vibe. I know that a lot of people in their 20s just don't really care about archiving and documenting in physical, tangible form. They all have their videos and memories on Snapchat, which you got to pay for to keep your memories now in Snapchat, which I think is absolutely absurd. But I think that having your life documented in tangible form is so important because when you get older, you are going to want to flip through this. I don't know. It's timeless. It literally is timeless. And these journals are not going to be shoved behind a paywall one day. Okay? It's free. It's free to keep a journal, and you also, okay, don't have to go out and get all these expensive things. For me, I invest in my hobbies. I'm also a gamer, so I invested in my hobby of gaming and I got a nice PC, I got a nice desk to monitor, you know what I mean? If journaling is my hobby and I quite literally do it every single day, I'm going to invest in that. I'm going to get myself a really good pen, a really good leather cover journal, and I'll get into what I have too. Stickers, glue, arts and crafts. You don't have to be artistic, you don't have to be crafty, you don't have to do anything, but it's more for getting to know yourself deeper and answering your own questions in life. Self-reflection, that is important to grow as a person. And like I said, I feel like people in their 20s, they're like, oh, I'm gonna party, you know what I mean? Party all you want, but just document here and there. And if you're struggling, it is a great way to work through your problems and all of that without, I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully this gives you some inspiration to start your own journal. Okay, so we're digging back in this tub here. This is one that I just finished. It says 2026 volume 1. This is the first journal that I have completed in 2026. So yes, cover to cover I have finished. This is a Paper Republic notebook journal. I hate lined paper, hate paper that looks like that. So you will see a pattern here that I don't have much of that in here. We're not going to go in chronological order. I'm just going to show you. Love these little pin loops. Okay, this is actually a, oh my gosh, this is a Midori. Look how cute and worn it is. Oh, I loved this one. So yeah, this is filled with pictures. You can buy these little pin loops too. You stick to the journal so you can keep your pen in there. Love this one. I don't know how to say that. This is the brand of, I loved these for a while. Soft cover. I love a soft cover. Okay. This one was so cute and I like tabbed them. I have a label maker now, which I'm thinking of going back in and putting the dates on label maker, but whatever. This one was so cute. This is Astrology, okay? Astrology, I loved this one. She's thick. But I loved the way I decorated this one. And I try to like implement little pictures of my cats too within the stickers that I have. But yes, she's full. Pictures, okay? Love this one. This is another one of those soft covers that I have. I think the funnest part is literally just decorating. That one was cool. This is a hardcover. Look, I peep the cats. But anyways, this was, oh my gosh, I loved this one. This has so many good memories. This one I literally hold so dear and true to my heart. This was the one I started when I was in treatment for alcohol, okay? This is what really jump-started the getting back into journaling thing. If you hear a dog barking, dude, that dog drives me so insane. We all have that dog in our neighborhood where we're like, anyways, love this. And you can do cute stuff like this. Like, look how cute that is. Whenever I didn't have my phone for a month and a half, whatever, this was the exact journal that I grabbed. And when I realized that when I journal, I don't feel as lonely as I do feel, which I didn't have family, friends, phone, nothing when I was there. And I was doing the scariest thing of my whole life. So this journal literally means so much to me. You can also get so crafty with it. I have this little moleskin crafty journal. I don't know. I just have poems in here, and I saw that I had like I don't know, just a lot of extra stickers that were just sitting there and not being used. So I just created a whole crafty journal. This one was so fun to make. Just little collages and stuff. Just it's a good way to get off your phone, dude. Be crafty if you want to. But you don't have to go in depth like this. I mean, all these filled cover to cover with thoughts, memories, just everything that I was going through in my early 20s up until now. Even this one, let's add this one. Yeah. I mean, come on. This is like the best thing in the whole world. I can't wait to go through these in 20 years and be like, oh my God, that's what I was thinking. Like my whole inner monologue is in all of that. This is really fun too. You don't even have to do this. I haven't touched this in forever. It kind of fell off for me, but junk journaling, okay, is so fun. This is when I got a new skateboard, just scraps from the packaging. I don't know. This was a Thanksgiving spread. Everything I did on Thanksgiving, I literally don't even know. Like, I love junk journaling. Put the pieces together. Put the pieces together. Collect your junk. Don't throw it away. Create something with it. Create more than you consume. And this is a sushi place. I don't know. Like I love it so much. My archive, and it is still growing as we speak. I will scream to the rooftops about how good journaling is for you and your mental health all day long. Start creating more than you consume, and it's also a way to get off that damn phone. So I think that's also a good thing as well. You know, comparison is a thief of joy. Get off that phone, quit comparing your life to other people, and live your life. Add that extra layer to your life and get some self-reflection in. So yeah, this is what I'm using right now. So let me show you what I'm using right now. I literally forgot. This is a Hobonichi. It is a tiny little guy, and I use it for memory keeping. So I don't want to like show you the pages, but this is literally one page every single day of the year. And it looks like that inside. And what I do is I have a little photo printer and it prints photos from my phone. And I just print photos from the day if I had a fun day. And it's a way to memory keep. It is a way to see how I lived my entire life in 1 year. This is a little extra. Okay, Hobonichis are a little pricey. You don't have to use it, but this is, after all, my hobby. So I am absolutely obsessed with this. And also, a leather cover journal, you guys. Oh my gosh. Like, I can't get over the Paper Republic leather cover journal. This is mine. I got it in olive green, and I have, if you can see, my initials right there at the bottom, SH. Okay. I have a cute little charm. So when you open it up, here we go. We have, oh, my pen's falling out. I have like a little angel number card to reference. I have a picture of my cats, like always. This is my newest journal, okay? Since I just finished that one, I got this big boy. He's gonna last me a while, I hope, because he's chunky. But then I have this little guy. This is my to-do list. I just put what I need to do from day to day in here. And then I have tabs, stickers, sticky notes, yeah, everything else in the back here. And I just keep this right in here. I can put it in here, but when I journal in it, I usually take it out. But I think having a leather cover journal, this added a layer to my hobby as well. But it is pricey. But I just think something is so beautiful about having a leather cover journal that will grow and age with you. And I don't know. I just think everything about it is so cool. It has my initials on it. I can pass it down if I want to, like later in my life. And it ages with me. And all I have to do is switch out the journal and always keep this beautiful piece of leather with me. I don't know, but this is what I'm currently using. Obviously I'm in this every day, and I'm also in this every day, whatever. This is what I go gravitate towards every single day. And yeah, they call it a journal ecosystem. So this is my current journal ecosystem, if you will. So if you are not even into journaling at all, that was all probably so boring for you, but whatever. We're settling down and we're talking about our hobbies, and I would love to know what you guys' hobbies are. If there's anything that's different that you do, that's analog, more like off the phone. What do you do to try to get off the phone? I set up my home screen on my phone to look extremely boring so that I don't go on my phone. So, reading, everything like that. I want to know your hobbies. Hopefully you guys are inspired, and hopefully you guys had fun settling down this week. I know I did. I loved it. This was more lighthearted than last week. Sorry. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Try to dip into a journal this week. Try to dip into a journal. Try to write a page or a few sentences on how you feel. And if it's just not your thing, then it's not your thing. But make sure you're creating healthy habits for yourself in your 20s, because it's really going to matter now for your future. So, thank you guys for settling down with me, and I cannot wait to see you next week.